Valmiki Ramayana, Bala Kanda, Book 1, Sarga 63, Roman numerals LXIII 63, MENAKÁ. A thousand years had thus flown by, when all the gods within the sky, eager that he the fruit might gain of fervent rite and holy pain, approached the great ascetic now, bade altar toil and ended vow. Then Brahma speaking for the rest, with sweetest words the sage addressed. Hail, saint! This high and holy name thy rights have won, thy merits claim. Thus spoke the Lord, whom gods revere, and sought again his heavenly sphere. But Vishwamitra, more intent, his mind to stern penance bent. So many a season rolled away, when Menaka, fair nymph, one day came down from paradise to lave her perfect limbs in Pushkar's wave. And glorious son of Kushik's saw that peerless shape without a flaw flash through the flood's translucent shroud, like lightning gleaming through a cloud. He saw her in that lone retreat, most beautiful from head to feet, and by Kandarpa's might subdued, he thus addressed her as he viewed. Welcome, sweet nymph, O deign, I pray, in these calm shades a while to stay. To me some gracious favor show, for love has set my breast aglow. He spoke, the fairest of the fair, made for a while her dwelling there, while day by day the wild delight stayed vow austere and fervent rite. There as the winsome charmer wove her spells around him in the grove, and bound him in a golden chain, 5 sweet years fled, and 5 again. Then Vishwamitra woke to shame, and fraught with anguish memory came. For quick he knew, with anger fired, that all the immortals had conspired to lap his careless soul in ease, and mar his long austerities. 10 years have passed, each day and night, unheeded in delusive flight. So long my fervent rites were stayed, while thus I lay by love betrayed, as thus long sighs the hermit heaved, and touched with deep repentance grieved. He saw the fair one standing nigh, with suppliant hands and trembling eye. With gentle words he bade her go, then sought the northern hills of snow. With firm resolve he vowed to beat the might of love beneath his feet. Still northward to the distant side of Kaushiki the hermit hied, and gave his life to penance there, with rites austere, most hard to bear. 1,000 years went by, and still he labored on the northern hill, with pains so terrible and drear that all the gods were chilled with fear, and gods and saints, for swift advice, met in the halls of paradise. Let Kaushik's son, they counselled, be a mighty saint by just decree. His ear to hear their counsel lent, the sire of worlds omnipotent. To him enriched by rites severe, he spoke in accents sweet to hear. Hail, mighty saint, dear son, all hail! Thy favor wins, thy toils prevail, won by thy vows and zeal intense. I give this high preeminence. He, to the general sire, replied, not sad nor wholly satisfied. When thou, O Brahma, shalt declare the title great beyond compare of Brahman saint, my worthy meed, hard earned by many a holy deed, then may I deem in sooth I hold each sense of body well controlled. Then Brahma cried, not yet, not yet, toil on a while, O anchoret. Thus having said, to heaven he went, the saint upon his task intent, began his labors to renew, which sterner yet and fiercer grew. His arms upraised without a rest, with but one foot the earth he pressed. The air his food, the hermit stood, still as a pillar hewn from wood. Around him, in the summer days, 5 mighty fires combined to blaze. In floods of rain, no veil was spread, save clouds to canopy his head. In the dank dews, both night and day, couched in the stream, the hermit lay. Thus, till 1,000 years had fled, he plied his task of penance dread. Then Vishnu and the gods, with awe, the labors of the hermit saw, and Shakra in his troubled breast, Lord of the skies, his fear confessed, and brooded on a plan to spoil the merits of the hermit's toil. Encompassed by his gods of storm, he summoned Ramba, fair of form. He spoke a speech for woe and weal, the saint to mar, the god to heal. Wow. I just absolutely mind blowing this translation. So mind blowing translation from Sanskrit to English by Mr. Ralph Griffith. Our Freemason Ralph Griffith. It's just absolutely beautiful. Footnotes 74:1. The Indian Cupid 75:1, the same as she whose praises Vishwamitra has already sung in Canto 35, XXXV, and whom the poet brings yet alive upon the scene in Canto 61, LXI. Her proper name was Satyavati, truthful. The patronymic Kaushiki was preserved by the river into which she is said to have been changed, and is still recognized in the corrupted forms Kusha and Kushi. The river flows from the heights of the Himalaya towards the Ganga, bounding on the east the country of Videha, Bihar. The name is no doubt half hidden in the Kosoagus of Pliny and the Kosounos of Arian. Kosoagus, Kosounos. But each author has fallen into the same error in his enumeration of these rivers. Kondochatem Eranoboam Kosoagum Sonum. I guess these are all Greek pronunciations of Sanskrit. The Eranoboas, Hiranyavaha. Wow. Eranoboas, Hiranyavaha. Notice Hiran, Oboas, Eranoboas, Hiranyavaha. Absolutely amazing, these pronunciations, how you can slaughter a word. You can completely slaughter a word. And the Son and the Sona are not different streams, but well-known names of the same river. Moreover, the order is disturbed, in which on the right and left they fall into Ganges. To be consistent with geography, it should be written Eranoboam sive sonum condochatem Gandaki Kosoagum, end quote, Schlegel. Another Freemason, Schlegel, trying to give their comments on Ramayana. Wow, look at this. Kondochatem Gandaki. Gund, Kond, Katem, Aki, Gandakim, Conductem. Look at this, how you can slaughter a word, and then you have no effing idea. Everything is lost in translation. The whole history of human race is lost in this slaughtering of the words. Anyway, Ramayana ki jai. Ciao.